Walking down these empty streets, echoes of the past I meet, lost and wandering for so long, searching for where I belong. Sunrise breaking through the night, guiding me back to the light. Every step feels like a prayer, promises hang in the air. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease. Memories of laughter and tears, answers to my deepest fears. In these walls I find my truth, washing away the years. Ruth, oh, the road was long and rough, but my spirit's had enough. Here in the sanctuary, healing feels extraordinary. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease.
Good morning, my guys. Good morning. It's Monday. Hope your weekend was great, my brother. Hope you got some rest. I hope you loved yourself. I hope you did something for yourself. Good morning, brother. You count. You matter. I love you. You're loved. You're loved by your family. You're loved by your friends. This week, you own this week. You own it. You own it. I think a good thing about Monday is you decide who you're going to be. You decide who you're going to be every day. That's the power of your manhood. This is who I'm going to be this week. This is my goal this week. This is who I'm going to be. This is who I'm going to enjoy myself being. Even some of the flaws and things, the mistakes you might have made last week. Monday is a good day to look at yourself. Okay, what didn't I do so well? You know, what wasn't I on top of? And what could I have done better? What's important? It's regathering yourself. It's putting yourself back together. And good morning, my brother. Good morning. It's Monday, man. We're gonna do this week. We're not gonna do this week hopeless. We're not gonna do this week hoping we'll be okay. You'll be okay. I think for men, man, we gotta make a stance. We gotta decide. That's the power of manhood. You decide who you're gonna be and where you're going and what life is gonna look like. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're on top of the game. Good morning to you. As you're getting ready for work, as you're getting your life together, know that your family is going to be okay. You know that your wife is going to be okay. Know that your lady is going to be okay. Your kids are going to be strong. You're going to be strong. You are going to stand up this week. You're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to stand up for your future. You are a great man. I want to remind you of that, man. Of all the people that tell you what you need to do next and what you didn't do, people that remind you of who you haven't been, you count. You matter. I love you. I want to get into this morning. First, I want to see that some of you, how are you making out? How's your week going? Or how's your weekend going? I want to see what you look like on a Monday morning. Not look like physically, but what's your weather report? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy with a chance of rain? Is it bright? You know, what I'm learning, man, in manhood is that it's about who you are deciding to be. It's not about what people allow you to be. It's about who you're going to decide to be. So that's the question you got this morning on your table. Who you going to decide to be today? Who are you going to decide to be? You're going to be the best, your best self. You're going to decide to be your powerful self, or you're going to choose the weakness in yourself. We all have weakness. We all have strength. I think the goal is choosing the best part of myself every day, and that's really what's most important. I want to get into this today. I want to talk about being present and not just existent. I think it's very important that we not just exist, but we are present. Present in the lives of our family, present in the lives of our children, presence in the lives of people that we enjoy and people that enjoy us. I think sometimes the stress of what we have to produce as men makes us forget the simple things of being present in the lives of people that care about you. I think that our work ethic, I got to get it done. And as you're getting it done, the question, what are you missing, or what have you missed emotionally? I have 4 children. My son is in his second year of college. My daughters are turning 18 and looking toward finishing up high school. And then I have a 6-year-old that's just starting first grade. And I think that what I learned about fathering, man, is it's not just what we provide for our children, it's who we are to them. Same thing with your spouse, with your spouse, your girl, your fiance. It's not just about what we do for them, it's about who we are to them. And being present as a man. Remember this, as a man, it's not just about your presence. It's about being present. I think there's so many men that are not in the home, and so many fathers who have left the home, that some good men feel like just being present is enough. It's not. Your presence, brother. Your presence means a lot as a man. Your experience, your wisdom. I think sometimes, man, I don't know if we've been educated well about who we are as men or what we possess as men. I mean, just because you're a man, not because you have a degree, not because, oh man, I just felt it. I felt something come over my heart there, right? I think men need to know this, man. And whether you listen to this podcast now, whether you listen to this later on, I need you to know this. It's not about what you possess. It's always going to be about who you are. It's always going to be about who you are. It's always going to be about who you are. And so it's very important, man, that you decide who you're going to be, right? My family, my father was a provider. I watched my father provide, but I didn't see my father go on family vacations, except when we drove south or something like that. But when my mom said, "Hey, let's go to Canada, let's go to here, let's take the kids here," my dad wasn't really into that, and it was fine growing up and when watching my father just be there. But as I became a man, I wondered, Dad, why was Dad just kind of existent, but he wasn't really present? And I noticed that when I had kids so young. I had my son was born when I was 21, 22. And I was working so hard, traveling and writing and speaking, that I was trying to provide for him. I was trying to make sure he had. And then as he got older and I got older and I looked, I said, man, I wonder how much of myself did my son have? How much of myself did I give him? I never missed a football game. This is what I want y'all to peep. I never missed a football game. I remember I was teaching in Baltimore one time on a Saturday. And my son had his first high school wrestling match. And I got on the train. I came all the way home after preaching on a Friday night. He was supposed to be his first match was at 8 a.m. I had to get from Baltimore to Abington in Pennsylvania to see my boy wrestle, because I wanted to be there, and that really made me realize something, man, is that for my boy to look up in his wrestling move and look and see his dad, I'm down on the ground, pounding the ground. He was like, oh, my dad is there. Right. And so what I realized is that it's not just being there, as being present. And what's present? I think that a lot of us don't know what present is, because they teach us as men just to provide. But what exactly is being present, man? Being present is not just being in the room. Being present is being engaged. Is being engaged. Now that my girls, my daughters, my older daughters are 18, I look up and say, man, they had all the clothes they needed. They had this, they had that. But then I look one day and said, Dad, how much exactly do I know about my kids? Listen to me, brothers. How much do I know about my kids? How much do I know about my wife? I'm talking about deeply know. How much do I know about these people in this house that live with me? Oh, I know they're funny. I know they got an attitude. I know they're whatever. I'm talking about the inner workings of the people around you. That's present. And I don't think people teach us as men to be present. They just teach us to be there. Just be there, man. But do you know how much your family needs you present? Not just existing. Your family needs you present. Full engagement. Number one, to be present in your children's life and your wife's life and the people that you love. Being present means fully engagement in conversation, because you can't learn someone from just being around them. You got to learn what's on their mind. When your children are little, you can learn and you can watch them. But when your children get older, you got to know what's on their mind. Because listen to one of my other podcasts. I didn't do it on this podcast. I got another podcast called the Christian Activist Podcast. But I was talking about the danger of technology, and I need to do it on this Dear Brother podcast, because we are losing our families, brothers. We are losing our families, and we're like it's become a kind of a joke, like, the family's always on the cell phones and things like that. Do you know how much of your children that their cell phone is taking from them, that their tablet is taking from them? I'm telling you, man, it's more of a trick, and I don't think that we're paying close attention to it as men. This ain't too heavy this morning. I know this morning, most of my morning podcasts, my morning shows for you brothers, is about encouraging us, right? But one thing I'm learning about us men is not only do we need encouragement, man, we need instruction. Because my goal isn't just to get us healed. My goal is also to get us active in our community. And your community could be where you live. Your community could be in your own house. But men don't just sit around. So after you're healed, my goal is not just to heal men globally. My goal is to get us active globally, where people look up and say, my God, that's what healed men look like. But a healed man is a present man. A healed man is a present man. Listen, brother, it won't be about your daughters, your kids, your wife. They won't remember what you bought. They'll remember what you said. I'm telling you, man, that they might light up now. You could buy your kid a car right now. They're going to light up. Oh, my God, Dad, you bought me a car. You can buy your wife a great dress. Oh, my God, Dad, you just bought me, honey, you just bought me a great dress. In 10 years, she won't remember. Remember this, man. People won't remember what you bought them. They'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember how you made them feel. As a man, remember this. They will remember how you made them feel. So are you present? Are you present? I looked up, man, years later and said, Dad, I don't really know what my daughters enjoy. And I'm going to tell you, man, it really woke me up and made me realize I need to have some more conversation, not just jokes. I joke with my daughters and we laugh and we high five and we play and we got our special time. But then I looked as a man and said, what do I know? And why do you need to know? Listen to me, bro. Why do you need to know? Why do you need to be fully engaged? Because your daughters are going to start dating. Your sons are going to start dating. You want your presence, not just your existence, but your presence. Your presence will open up a door for them to feel, I can go talk to Dad. See, you never want, hey, yo, I put cinnamon in your coffee. Listen, this is a commercial break and nobody's paying me, so let me turn this around. But black coffee with a little cinnamon in it, bro, it'll change your life. Anyway, you want an open door for your kids to be able to come to you and say, hey, Dad, this is how I'm feeling. That's what being present does. Existent doesn't open the door for them to come to you. You can be existent. My dad was existent. My dad was in that house every day. But there was a lot of times I didn't feel like I could go talk to my dad, because even though he was there, he didn't ask me a lot about my life. He didn't ask me how I was feeling. And I'm going to tell you, in certain communities, it's almost like, oh, your dads don't ask those questions. Do you know how much your kids want you in their world? They want you in their circle. But you know what your kids want? They want to know that you want to be there. Listen, man, I feel like I'm dropping bombs this morning. I'm just talking, but I'm not trying to drop bombs or sound deep. I'm talking about from my own life experience, man. That's the only reason I'm on here at 545, to share with men, man, my life experience and how it matches yours and things we need to brush up on or totally change, right? But I realized one day, man, I'm not asking enough questions. Right? I'm not asking enough questions. Why do you like your hair like that? Oh, do you feel pretty today? How you feel about yourself, daughter? Are you happy? Those are the questions your kids want you to ask. And it may seem weird to them at first. Like dads aren't supposed to ask those questions. But listen, how can you protect a child you don't know? You can't protect a child you don't know, bro. You cannot. You can't protect a kid you don't know. You got to know what they think and know what's on their mind. Listen, know what breaks their heart. One of the best things I ever did was I asked my children what their love language was. I looked it up on the internet first and I gave it to each of them. I said, these are love languages, man. What one means the most to you? Right? This is when I really start recognizing, all right, I don't want to just be existent. I want to be present. I start asking them, man, what's your love language? My son said, man, my love language is words of affirmation. And I realized, dang, my son is just like me, man. Words of affirmation lift me up. So I started talking to my son in words of affirmation. He's off to college now. He's just starting his second year, right? But every now and then I'll shoot him a text. Hey, man, I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing. I see you on your grind. I see you in your hustle, man. I'm very proud of you. You're the man. I speak to his love language, right? One of my twins said, Dad, quality time. So anytime I can get a chance, man, we go get dinner. We go get lunch. Yesterday, we hung out for lunch. We went and got ice cream. One of my daughters, here they are, 17 years old, dropped the ice cream on the ground like a little kid. We had to go back inside, ask the lady I'm willing to pay for it, but like a little kid. And the lady says, no, don't worry about it. And I'm laughing with my 17-year-olds about dropping ice cream in the parking lot. Listen, guys. Listen, that's all. Listen, damn it. It's all that's going to count is your kids, man. I be trying to chill on here a lot of times, man, but I'm really a provoking type of teacher, and I try to chill in the morning. But listen to me, man. Listen to me. Your kids need you to know them. They want you to know them. There's a scripture that says, my sheep know my voice and will not follow a stranger. Do you know? Listen to me. In your house, you are the closest thing to God your children will ever know. In your house, you're the example. You're the closest thing to God they'll ever know. Do you know there are many spiritual people, whether they're Muslim, whether they're Christian, I don't care what religion they are. There are a lot of people that struggle with their relationship with God because they never had a relationship with a father. Catch me, bro. Catch me. The relationship that you build with your children in your house is how they learn God. How you love them is how they learn God's love. How you speak to them is how they learn God's voice. You are the closest thing to God to your children in that house. All they know is Dad's taking care of me. Dad speaks into my life. Dad speaks well of me. Dad encourages me. That's all they know. And if you honor your kids that way, they'll have a better relationship with people and they have a better relationship with God. Listen, man, you are what your daughters will take as the kind of man she should be with. That's why you should be quickly ready to apologize to your kids. You should be willing to apologize to your kids when you're wrong because you don't want their image of men and you don't want their image of God mixed up. You want to be a forgiving father because you don't want your kids to live a life saying men aren't forgiving. I'm telling you that you set the pathway for many of your children's decisions. As men, we move out the way, say, oh, that's mom's duty. Mom will buy this. Mom will buy that. No, don't move out the way and just give it to mom. Be with mom. I'll tell y'all a story, man. One day my mom, she used to pay all the bills at the dining room table. And I went down there one day and my mom had her head down, as she's paying the bills. And I was young, but I said, Mom, why you look down, right? And I said, Mom, we need money. She said, no, we don't need money. My dad made sure we didn't need money. I'm like, Mom, why you looking sad? She says, because she says, sometimes I wish that your father would come do this with me. She wanted him to be present, not just existent. Do you hear me, man? She wanted him to be present, not just existent. And you got to know that your presence means a lot. So how to get present? Engage in conversation with your kids. Engage in conversation with your wife. Ask your wife, man, how you feel? How you feel? What's going on? Why you look like that? Listen, be observant as a man. That's what presence means. Be observant as a man. You know, be observant enough to know. See, women say, oh, I want him to notice I got my hair done. I want him to notice I got my nails done. Most times you may or may not notice, but you should be able to notice what shifted. Why her face look like that? Why she walking slower like that? Why she not as responsive? You got to be aware as a man. That's what presence is. Do y'all hear me? That's why this is one of my slowest podcasts, man. One of my slowest podcasts, but I feel like this is one of my best podcasts because I'm giving you something. I'm trying to lay something in your heart. Don't just exist, man. Be present. Listen to what they're saying. And as men, this is sometimes our problem. We want to fix stuff without listening all the way to the problem. Why? Why do you want to fix stuff all the time? Because you're made to be a fixer. It's not going to be a time in your life that you don't want to fix things. It's not going to be a time in your life that you're going to let stuff go. Men are made to fix. That's who we are. We're wired to fix things, right? But I think a lot of times we rush to fix things without the emotional availability to listen to what you need to fix. You can't fix it without the instruction. And that means if that person, that kid, that wife, that girl, that fiance, that lady, that girlfriend is right there with you, as much as you want to fix the problem, you can't fix it if you don't listen. Right? And so that gift to fix can go wrong because you're not listening to what you got to fix. It's like some of us men. It's like, oh, I know how to put this together. You buy something from the store, your lady buy something from the store. Oh, I don't need no directions. And here you are missing. You put the whole thing together. You still got 8 screws on the floor because you didn't want to follow the directions. You just wanted to fix it, put it together and be done with it. But that's not being present. As a man, being done with it is not being present. And I'm going to tell you, as men, that's how we are. When we get fed up, we get done with it. No, you know why? You know why? Because when you involve yourself in the process of something, you're not just so done with it. Involve yourself, be active engagement. Don't just be a passive observer of what's going on. Don't just flag it and say, I don't want to deal with that. Your family needs your voice. It's something called man voice. Most men that yell don't understand the power of man voice. Right? I would get all pissed off when I was young in my younger years and get to yelling and screaming. That's because I didn't understand the power of man voice. You got to know, brother, just because you're a man, there's a power in your voice. There's a power in your voice. Good morning. Let me pause. Say good morning. Good morning, Eric. Good morning. Good morning, James. Good morning, Will. I got a question here. Brothers, remember, if you got questions, go ahead and put your questions up at any time. I got advice for you, okay? I got a question right here. How do you provide that wisdom or share worldly experience with the world and the youth has been loss of critical thinking? Okay. This is Eric. Great question. How do you help people that have lost the critical thinking? Well, people, the what the world is missing now, Eric, the world is missing compassion. Right? The world is missing compassion. And so there are no critical thinking skills because guess why? There was never any father in remember, this generation is missing so many fathers that who was there to teach critical thinking? This is why we can't judge youth for not having critical thinking skills because who was there to teach them critical thinking skills? So as men now, that drive that we were raised in, get going, come on, get up, go do it. That's not what this generation needs in a father. This generation needs fathers more than ever, right? And I'm not just talking about fathers that birthed that kid. This generation needs men with man voice that can speak into their lives, right? So this world, we need compassionate men. We know how to drive people, but do we know how to be compassionate? And then thank you for this question, because it goes along with what I'm sharing today. Is that when we become more present, then we'll realize that, wow, it's not critical thinking skills these people need. It's compassion. They need to know this man cares. He will take me by the hand and take me where I got to go. He's not just commanding me. As men, understand this finger wagging of what everybody should be doing. No, that's not what men do. Men shepherd their family. I got another podcast coming up, and this one is going to be highly. People probably hate me for it. That's okay. They hate me already, but there was no church in the Garden of Eden, and nor was there any government in the Garden of Eden. The only entity that existed in the Garden of Eden was the family, whether you like it or not. I know the religious are probably pulling their hair out. It's too early in the morning. Don't get so mad. But there was no church in the Garden of Eden. The church was the family. The government was the family, and the man was the president, and the man was the pastor and the prophet, and he took care of his family. See, so it's compassion. It's compassion we need to know now. It's compassion you need more than ever now. Great question. Good point. Finding out your kids' love language is one of the best ways to start to get to know your kids as well. Yes, Will. Yes. Right? Find out your kid's love language. Ask them. Ask them. Your kids want to talk to you. Ask them. Right? A lot of our parents, I won't speak for all of us, but I mean, I know in our generation, a lot of our parents didn't speak. They didn't talk. They didn't talk. They told us what to do. They laughed with us. They provide for us, But I'm talking about conversation, getting to know. I'm talking about presence in your kid's life, right? It creates a stronger connection and shows how much you care for them. And when someone knows how you care for them, their heart will open up to talk to you. Thank you very much for that question, Eric. And thank you for your point, William. If anybody else has, put it right in the chat, man, right? You could put it right in the chat. This number two, the first thing we talked about as far as men not just being existent, present, the first thing we talked about was active engagement. Fully engage in conversation, listen actively when they're talking, right? Respond thoughtfully. Before we get to number two, respond thoughtfully to your children. Respond thoughtfully. Don't just respond out of how you feel at the moment, because notice, as a dad, your kids, you are so influential in your children's lives that they will carry how they felt about what you said for the next 20 or 30 years. Understand that that's the power of man voice. When a man says something to his children, whether it's great or whether it's harsh, they'll carry it for the next 20 or 30 years. That's the power in your voice without even raising your voice. That's the power in your voice as a father, right? So make sure that you respond with care. Don't just be so flippant with your kids. Don't be sarcastic with your kids. First of all, their mind doesn't understand that. All they know is black and white. How you grew up is not always how you should raise your kids. I'm gonna tell you, there's some ways you grew up that your kids, that doesn't belong in your children's life. Another thing is, you can't raise all your kids the same way. Your kids are different. Even though my daughters are twins, one of them is completely this rugged, tough girl. And the other one is just little tiny, small baby. She can't stand much noise and this and that. The one, I can speak directly to her. Hey, this is how life goes, man. This is how you got to think of it. The other one, I got to give her a hug first, a kiss on her forehead, and say, hey, now listen. Right? I can't raise them the same. What that's called being present enough to know that everybody don't take the same thing. I know you gotta work, bro. I know you gotta get this money. I know you gotta pay these bills, but guess what? Your bills will always be with you. Your children are not. They're going to grow up. They're going to move out. They're going to do things, and they're going to need the wisdom you gave them. So don't just be so flippant about raising them. Don't just be so, I'm on my hustle. I got time later, My 6-year-old taught me something, man. She comes in and she'll say, I'll be sitting on the couch watching boxing, which is my favorite thing in the world, or watching something else. And she'll say, Dad, come in here. Can you come in here and watch this with me? Or come watch me dance? There's some days where I may be watching something that I really love on YouTube, or I am I'm about to podcast something, or I'm editing or posting. And it was a time where I got to get this done first, baby. I'll be there. No. Put everything you're doing on pause, because you know what she's asking? Your child is asking when they say, can you come watch me? They're saying, come build with me. Come build a relationship with me. That's what they're asking for you to do. You should do that without pause. Number 2, be emotionally available. This is the hardest one. I don't know if I'll finish this podcast this morning, but be emotionally available. Presence involves being emotionally open and supportive, right? You got to offer empathy in situations, right? It's understanding the needs of the people around you. It's understanding the needs of the people around you, right? Rather than hiding behind silence, because that's another trick that every enemy wants to use against man. He wants you to be silent. He wants you to be so mad you get silent. He wants you to be so confused you get silent. He wants you to be so afraid you get silent. He wants you to be so pissed off you say, well, I ain't got nothing else to say. The reason why the enemy wants to squelch your voice as a man, because he knows the power in a man's voice. He knows the power in a man's voice. So he wants you to be quiet. He knows as a man, your voice affects things. Your voice affects change. He knows that with one word, just like in the Garden of Eden, a man can create something with the power of his voice. He can name something and it change. The enemy knows you have that power. That's why he wants you to say, you know what, I don't got nothing else to say. Don't even worry about it. He wants you to feel rejected. He wants you to feel shut down because he knows the power of man voice. I'm going to sit there for a minute for the next 30 seconds because I want you to get this, because I feel this heavy in my heart. The enemy wants to make you so mad, so upset, so depressed, or just so ignorant of a thing that he wants you to be silent, because the enemy knows the power of man voice. That's why he wants you to shut up. That's why you shouldn't shut up. Because God gave you man voice that can change situations around you. And this is why you got to be so sensitive even to your man voice, because your man voice is so potent, so powerful, right? So make sure you're saying the right thing. You can affect something for the next 40 years. There's a power in your voice, and there's the power of the pen and the power of the man voice is two of the most powerful things in the world. The power of the pen and the power of man voice is two of the most powerful things in the world, right? Look at media. Look how quick a word from a man can spread, even a lie, because that's the power of man voice. So understand, be emotionally present in your family's life, right? Share your feelings. This is how I feel. This is what's going on with me. Share your feelings with your family. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. Live undistracted. Number 3, intentional action. When you're present and you take deliberate action, it's meaningful to your family. Take deliberate action. Do the small things they don't even think about. Listen to your family. Listen to them. When one of your kids say, oh, I like that bag of chips. I like that bag of candy. I like that. Just listen to them and then go get it. It's those sort of things. It shows them, wow, my dad wasn't just in the room. He was present. He was active. He was listening to me. He was hearing me, right? What it does is it shows that the person is valuable, and it shows that they're meaningful, and it shows that they're worthy of being heard. And especially you dads with daughters. Here's where I'm closing here. Especially you dad with daughters. You will be the image of what love means, right? Yesterday, I took my daughters. We were at my brother-in-law's birthday brunch, and they were cold. So here I am. I go out to the car. I get them, 2 jackets. I put it over their shoulders and everything. What was that saying? That was saying, this is how a man should treat you. This is how you should be loved, right? If you have a need, he should get up quickly, leave his meal to make sure you're comfortable. Be present. Don't just exist. Be present in the life of your children. Be present in the life of your family. Be present in the life of your wife. Don't just exist. That's what the enemy wants. He wants you to just exist. He doesn't want you to be present, because a present man changes the lives of everything around him. A present man is a powerful man. A present man is a very, 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 very powerful man. Hey, visit my website. I do one-on-one coaching. I do one-on-one coaching for men. To lift you up. If you're facing a hard time in relationship, if you just need advice to push you forward, visit my website, man. You can sign up today. Schedule your coaching with me. Also, make sure you go get your book. I got a book out right now for men, Home Where Hurt Men Heal. Go check that book out on Amazon, man. It's changing lives. I'm getting so many emails about that book. But make sure you go to my website, man. You can set up your coaching there. I also do group coaching for men. For 4 days, I'll come in for 4 days, do group coaching with men. And if there's some spiritual leaders, some pastors and things that are on here as men, I also do coaching for spiritual leaders. And so is go to my website, man, connect with me. My goal is to touch the lives of the people around me. I'm willing to sow. I have years and years of experience about a lot of things about life, man. Been through a lot, and I want to share it with you all. Okay, if you're willing, if you want to donate, man, you can. To be a blessing to what I'm doing. I'm traveling the world. I'm speaking to men. I'm headed to Nairobi, Kenya. I'm looking to get into Haiti, where it's very, very tough. So you can support my missions right there at the bottom of the screen, Master Built One. You can support the missions of what I'm doing around the world. I love you all. I'll be putting my schedule up soon so you guys can see. Also, one major thing on there. There's a free event I'm doing. I'm only taking 12 men. Okay, it's a table of 12 giants on my website. I only do it once a month where I speak intimately with 12 men at a table. So if you want to be a part of that, you can sign up for that today. Remember, I only take 12 per month. Okay, I think we have 10 spots left for the October 14th. From October to October, 4 weeks, October 14th, I think, to November 16th. So you can be at that table of 12 giants. And I do that every month. All right. I love you guys. May your day be great. Let me see who else is in the chat before I go. 5:45. You didn't tell me I need to have a book note. Yeah, man, you need your notes when you come in here, my brother. This is true. I'm experiencing various situations in my life, in my league right now. Yeah, man. Guys, I'm telling you, man, we need each other. I need this podcast. I don't just wake up trying to be the man. I don't come down here like I'm nobody, bro. I gave up everything. I lost everything I had. I gave up the rest, I don't wake up at 5:45, man, and come turn on this computer and do this, man, because I got it together. I need a community of men. I need soldiers, man. And you know who else needs soldiers? God. There's a problem in this world. Y'all see it. Y'all see it in politics. Y'all see it in Hollywood. Y'all see it in the streets. Y'all see people getting killed and murdered. Y'all see people falling apart. Y'all see another generation is going just in a direction that's insane. Man, we need an army of men. We need an army of healed men. I'm not just on here to get men healed. I'm on here on a mission that once you get men healed, you can get men active to change the world around them. That's the goal, man. I'm telling you, I seem cool and collected and quiet right now. Listen, yeah, that's the first part. That's the first part of getting men to see themselves as God sees them and getting men to see where they're going in life, man. But no, after that, it's time to step up in education. It's time to step up in these schools. It's time to step up in this government. It's time to step up at every place. I'm not joking. I'm not playing. This podcast is not a small thing. I got a mission, and my mission is to turn men up to the point where everybody says, what in the world is happening? What in the world is happening? Men have stood up in a way that changes society. That's what tip I'm on. And for some of the spiritual people, man, listen, being spiritual is not sitting around in one building, waving your hand, hoping that God comes. Being spiritual is standing up and being the man that God blew wind in to go do something about the world's issues. That's what being spiritual is. Be present. Don't just exist. Aren't you tired of just existing? Aren't you tired of just waking up during your week? You're drinking the same coffee at the same time, right? Going to work, just going. Aren't you tired as a man of just existing? Right? Getting sick, getting well. Here go another Christmas. And after a while, you just wait to die as a man. That's not what we're built for. We are changers. We're changers. We're societal shifters. That's what a man is. A man is a societal shifter. And guess what? Men are shifting society in a negative way. Look at politics. Men have been shifting society in a negative way for years. Look at the food. Man, listen, I'm gonna get all to this because I'm not afraid to die for what I'm saying. That's the walk I've walked all my life. right? I know some of you don't know me, but for some of you that do, you know I will die for a cause. I'm down for dying for a cause, and lifting men up is a cause worth dying for. It's worth dying for because I'm not going to sit around and just watch the world fall apart in corruption, spiritual corruption, educational corruption, while I sit around and just drink my cold beer and say, this is what manhood is. No, men, God put you here to change some things around you, change football leagues. My cousin is on here. He's heavy into little league football. He should be changing society there, right? You on your way to work, you should be changing society through your work. Understand this. Your work is paying for the presence of God to be there. That's what your job is. They're paying for the presence of wisdom to be there, right? You're not just there to kick them hours, man, at 9 to 5. You're there to change somebody's life. There's somebody in the cubicle next to you that needs you. They need you. They need that joke. They need that high five. They need that hug. They need that fatherhood from you. Right? That voice they never had. You know how many people are walking around? Look at y'all still on here. Y'all won't leave. I won't leave. It's like we in a relationship. Who gonna hang up first? But y'all hear me, man? It's somebody on your job that needs that handshake. They need you to pull them in. Yo, bro, you're gonna be okay. That's what manhood is about. It's not just punching the clock and waiting to retire or waiting to die or waiting to get diabetes and die. Like that's what the enemy wants us to do. Have heart attacks, die, stroke. And just all we worried about is the Eagles game. Sorry, cuz. Sorry to all the Eagles fans. Let me just say the Chiefs fans or the Miami. My other cousin's Miami. My God, let me find another team. San Francisco. I'm going to do a whole podcast on the distracted man. I'm not speaking against sports. What I'm telling you is when you really close your eyes and you'll realize, damn, how distracted I am. I can't even see the problems of the world. I can't see what's stopping you from being present, right? Some of you not present for a whole football season. I know now y'all going to start disappearing. You ain't present with your family from the end of August to January. You don't know what the hell is going on in your house because that's how consumed you are with millionaires who don't care about you. Cheers. That's how consumed we are. These are the sly. Listen, the enemy. The scripture says that the enemy is the slyest beast of the field. You will look up and say, I haven't even paid attention to my family for a football season. You were more concerned about millionaires who don't know or care about you than sustaining your house. Do you also know that football season is the beginning of the school year? I'm not saying, listen, this is what I'm trying to show y'all. It's not about being a bad man or a good man. It's about being a man that's actively there so you can know what's happening. You're not under the darkness of what's going on. You're looking above. You're able to see what's really going on. Football season is the beginning of the school year. If you disappear and you're so into your fantasy football league or your favorite team and you're ordering jerseys and you're doing all this, how much did you sit down with your kid and say, man, how you doing in math, bro? Right? Don't get offended. I'm not coming at you. I'm showing you the tricks of the enemy. Don't let your wife just don't say, oh, that's a woman's duty. It's not a woman's duty to be emotionally connected to the kids. You know whose emotions whose emotions the kids need most? The kids need your emotions most. Because your emotions solidify. As a man, you solidify the family. It's like you bake the cake, your wife put the make it beautiful. Just like the Garden of Eden. Adam tended the garden, Eve came and made it beautiful. But when she showed up, he didn't just sit back and say, all right, you got it now, honey. No, there is a voice in you, there's a strength in you, there's a faith in you that God gave you just because you're a man. And you need to show that up, man. Don't hide. Don't hide. I got another podcast coming out about the man cave. It's where men go to die. You think you're going in there to chill or smoke your cigar, man, or just kick your beer and kick it. No, you're going in there to die. You're going in there to be away from everybody. And when you're away from everybody long enough, eventually the enemy starts messing with you. If you got any questions, you can put them right in the chat. I don't know why I'm still on here. I must be on here because somebody need me to be on here. But if you got, listen, dear brother, the advice, relationship advice, whatever you need, man, pop it in the chat. We could talk about it right now. Before I go, I got about man, I got about at least 20 more minutes. So remember, on the on our podcast, this is our time, dear brother, the advice. I can help you out, think through situations. The reason I have advice, man. And listen, some of you know my story already. I lost a lot of my family, man. Go birds, yeah, Eagles, 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 yeah, yeah. While you paying attention to them Eagles, 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 you better pay attention to them kids' homework and what's going on with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, man, it is a great day. It's a great day because you're a great man. I'm gonna go soon, but you're a great day. It's a great day because you're a great man. Make sure you go pick up your book from Amazon, Home Where Hurt Men Heal. All right, Home Where Hurt Men Heal. Go get it. Go get your book. Go get your book. It matters. It matters. Hey, man. I love y'all. Good morning. For some of you that missed this earlier, man, go back and check it out. Make sure you visit my website, christianwinners.com. Sign up for the events coming up. All right. Sign up for the events coming up right there. All right. I have October, table of 12 giants. I'm sitting with 12 men a month. We're discussing the world. We're discussing the future. We're discussing our own healing. Go on my website right now. It's free of charge. Sign up for the table of 12. If you go on my services page on my website right now, sign up for that table of 12 men. Every month I'll be meeting with 12 men until we start occupying and taking over cities. You guys are strong. You're amazing men. You're powerful. And if I can gather you, we can do some major, major things in our world, right? And so that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to gather men. Any other questions for the advice? Us men as adults. Anthony Rich, thanks for coming in, my brother. Us men as adults, how do we help our fathers that have lost track in their Anthony, my brother, good question. Us as adults, how do we help our fathers that have lost track in their old ways? Here we go. Great question, Anthony. This is what we do. You see your father as a person. You see your fathers as people and not just fathers. See, this is the thing. Our expectation of our fathers, especially of our parents, especially, we have an expectation of them to be a certain way, right? Just like my kids right now have an expectation to be a certain way. They're not looking at you as a human. They're looking at you as a machine that's always going to do it right. And I think the way to really help fathers, help the older folks that are stuck in their way, is to love them through that. You got to love them through it. You got to show them love like you would show somebody love that you don't know, that's lost their way. I'm going to show you love like I don't know you. The thing is, you got to take down your expectations of what we put on our fathers and lift your expectation that this is a person. And I learned this, Anthony, one time. I was talking to my parents. They're both passed away now, but I was talking to my parents, and my mom and dad were arguing one time, and I sat down on the chair. I was a grown up, and I said, "Dad, do you love mom like Christ loved the church?" Man, first of all, I was waiting for my dad to punch me in the eye. Like, yo, who the hell you think you are, bro? My dad was a tough one, right? Who you think you are? No, he didn't do that. He looked at me and he said, no. I'm not loving your mom like Christ loved the church right now. You know what that took? That took me to look at my dad as a man who was struggling. That's what it took. Not my father, who I had all these expectations of. It's the same thing if you have kids, and same thing, bro. Your kids are going to grow up and realize, man, dad wasn't perfect. And you're going to want them to see you that way. And so that's the way you help the older folks. I had to do that with my father. As a former pastor, I do that with a lot of older pastors. They're stuck, and nobody ever loved them enough to show them. They love them enough to say, you should be. But the men, all of us, we can't take no more of this. That's what they do to us since we were little. This is what you should be. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And the fact is, bro, No, older men need to be loved because they were never loved. That's why our generation is so screwed up, because we weren't loved, and we blame that generation for not loving us, but we don't realize they weren't loved, right? See, with men, there's generational, right? I'm not calling it curses. I'm calling it miseducation. There's general miseducation where over and over and over, right? My dad didn't give me this, and his dad didn't give me this, and his dad didn't give me. Where are they supposed to get it from? Nobody gave it to them. Man, brilliant question, Anthony. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. With that man voice, how do you drive forward whenever so many try to block you or change the narrative? Oh, well, see, this is the thing about man voice. Man voice says what it says in truth, and it doesn't apologize, right? And I'm not talking about being wrong and not apologizing. This with man voice. With man voice, how do you drive forward whenever so many see, man voice is not about driving forward to anything. Man voice is about making a statement. This is how I operate. This is how this is going to go. Right? That's man voice. This is how I operate. And for some of you guys that are on here right now, go to my website, sign up for the Table of 12 Giants, because this is when I'll have time to really, we'll dig into these questions. We'll dig into the philosophies. We'll hear each other's stories. We need this. So go to my website, brothers, sign up for my Table of 12 Giants. I think I start October. All right. We'll pierce through the book. We'll get into some heavy things about marriage, about, really dig into it. So make sure you sign up today. All right. Only take 12 and then you'll have to be on the waiting list. All right. But man voice is not about driving things forward. Man voice is about saying what you say and just letting it go. Something like with my son, it's been times, Eric. Thank you, Anthony. You're my man. Thanks for coming on this morning, my brother. But yeah, man voice, man, like I'll say something to my son, like, hey man, this is how life is. And he's like, but. You know what man voice says? Okay. Because what man voice does, Eric, is man voice lays down the law and then it lets everybody look at it and you can decide whether you want it or not. Man voice is not about force. See, there's too much bad teaching about men. Men don't have to force, men just have to speak. Man, I was supposed to be out of here 20 minutes ago. I love y'all. Huh? Man voice is about laying down the law, laying down the path. People can reject it or not reject it, right? People will learn after a while you were right, right? That's why you don't have to yell and scream as a man. It's man voice. It's authority. That's what it is. It's authority. It's authority as a man. It's authority. That's what goes on. It's authority in your voice. You got to know that authority is in your voice. You don't have to get mad. You just have to declare. See, the reason why you have to fight anger in your voice is because when a man gets angry and can't control his voice, then people stop listening. Right? People stop listening. People stop listening when we get all hyped up. This is why you got to control man voice. This is what I'm saying as a man. This is what I'm declaring as a man. See, we say women are emotional, bro. Stop lying. We are just as emotional as women. It's the facts. Let me see my brother. Brother Wendy, how do you sign up to be one of the 12? Go on my website, Brother Wendy. Let me see right here, my man. Let me put it up for you. I'm still trying to get cool on the website, on the thing here. Let me put it up for you. ChristianWinters.com, my brother. There it is. It's ChristianWinters.com. I'm sorry, I have the thing up there instead of the but let me see if I can find it it's ChristianWinters.com, myname.com, ChristianWinters.com. You can sign up for the Table of 12 Giants right now. In fact, I see some people signing up right now. Let me get to the ticker tape. Okay, let me put it here. ChristianWinters.com. Go to ChristianWinters.com and let me put this here it is. All right. ChristianWinters.com. Go to ChristianWinters.com right now. You can sign up for the Table of 12 Giants. You can also sign up for one-on-one counseling. And for some of you to have groups, I'll do group counseling as well. All right. Let me see who else is in the chat. All right. Thank you, Fee, for sharing with all the brothers. Thank you so much for sharing with all the brothers. But no, man, know this, bro. You have authority in your voice. You have authority in your voice. Let me read this for y'all since y'all still on here. Man, I was supposed to have been gone. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 in my book. It's called The Humble Lion Hunts Himself. Listen to this. On the road of life, a wise man recognizes that the hunt for self-improvement begins within. It's a journey where the humble lion turns its gaze inward to fix its own issues instead of blaming others. As men, embracing this humility is a profound step toward personal growth and confirmed strength. Y'all hear me? Hunt yourself. That's what a good man does. He hunts himself. He hunts himself. That's what a good man does. You turn your vigor, you turn your energy into changing yourself. That's how this gets done. You can't. You have to. You have to turn your turn that strength into inwardly. Listen to this. Blaming others for your shortcomings seems more manageable, but it's deceptive. It's a deceptive mirage that hinders your progress. The humble lion acknowledges its role in creating the fields of foolishness that is created, and bravely takes responsibility for taming the inner wilderness. The inner wilderness, the parts of you that's lost within. That's what the lion does. The lion doesn't just devour everything around it. The lion devours the parts of themselves that is destructive. That's what the lion does. You take out of you what's keeping you slow. Become present for yourself. This podcast this morning was about being present and not just existing, right? And I spent a lot of time talking about being present and existing and for your family and your children and your wives and your girlfriends. But you also have to be present for yourself, right? That's why, listen, after you come home from work, man, instead of just going in and kicking your shoes up and take time to think about your day. I'm telling you, as men, it's like we come home, we kick that boot off, we jump in that shower, we just want to grab that remote. But before you do, ask yourself about your day. Could I have done anything different? Could I have responded different? Was I too angry today? Right? Was I too angry today? Did I step up right? Right? Ask yourself, interrogate yourself as a man. That's what the humble lion does. The lion doesn't just go around devouring everybody else. You got to devour yourself, devour your own weaknesses. Be willing to devour your own weaknesses, bro. That's very important as a man. Be willing to devour your own weaknesses. If a man is unwilling to devour his own weaknesses, you know what he does? He devours everything around him. Devours his children, devours his relationship, devours his work ethic. If you won't devour your weakness, you'll begin to devour everything around you. You hear me? You see? See the picture behind me over this shoulder here? That's Martin Luther King right there. This is my favorite picture of Martin Luther King. And if you might not be able to see it, but he's sitting there, legs crossed, totally exhausted, with a cigarette in his hand. Because that's what a tired man looks like. That's a man who's worn the weight of society and the weight of pressure, and no one was caring about him. Everybody was just caring about his gift. Somebody one of you brothers know what that is. You know what it feels like to hustle, to grind, to create, to do everything you got to do for everybody else. Right? And here you are. Here you are. Tired. Right? You got to rescue yourself. Because you got to be present for you. I'm sure there were times where this man said, I need to stop. I want to stop. I want to stop. I want to say this to somebody this morning. I want to say this to one of my brothers this morning. It's okay to stop. It's okay to stop. Let me tell you why. Because if something happens to you, the people that are using you up are going to find somebody else to use up. You're not that important. Don't take pride in, oh, everybody come in, everybody call me, everything. That'll kill you. That'll kill you. That'll kill you. There's times where you got to stop, man, and you have to rescue yourself. You have to rescue yourself as a man. You got to be present in your own life. So let's go back to these notes before I go. Let's go back to these notes before I go. Three things a man must do to be present. He must engage in conversation. He must listen actively. He must have thoughtful responses. He must be emotionally available, open, supportive. Supportive of who? Sometimes you got to support yourself. Sometimes you got to sow great words in your life yourself. Right? You got to understand your own needs. You got to be vulnerable. If you're tired, say you're tired. Right? If you're scared, say you're scared. Right? Say it to yourself. It doesn't make you weak. Vulnerability is strength. Y'all hear me? Vulnerability is strength. If you're tired, say that, man. Say that, right? Say it. Now I don't have no more left. Because this is what we do as men. We bottle. We don't say anything. We bottle, and then we blow up. You ever blown up in your house? You ever blown up at your wife? You ever blown up at the kids? And what you blew up, what? It wasn't about this little thing. It was about days and days or weeks and weeks of you not saying how you feel, not saying what's going on in your life. And then you just blow up. And now everybody's looking at you like, oh my God, what happened? That's because you weren't willing to say. Someone taught manhood wrong. We taught manhood wrong. We taught manhood as some brute force. I'm strong. It's not manhood. Manhood is vulnerability. Manhood is vulnerability. Adam wasn't tough. He was wise. Adam wasn't tough. He was wise. You know why the murder rate is so high? Because men think being tough is being strong and hurting folks. Why don't we start teaching manhood as wisdom, understanding, knowledge? I'm going to teach that. That's what manhood is. Manhood is gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Manhood is the humble lion hunting himself. I'm going to hunt myself, hunt my own weaknesses, right? Because there's some things, I'm going to say this because I think there's some people listening to me, man. There's some ways you've been since you were 13, 14 years old, and you can't figure a way out of it, right? And you're tired. You're embarrassed at this point. You know why? Because you hunted a job, you hunted a degree, you hunted that paper, you hunted that money, you hunted that stock, that bond, you did everything else. You never turned that rage towards your own weakness. You got to turn that rage towards your own weakness and say, I'm not going to be like this. Well, Christian, how do you change? How do you change? You slow down. How does a man change? He slows down. The only thing you can do fast is crash. If you're going to change your life as a man, you got to slow down. You got to slow down and observe yourself, right? What's wrong with me? I'm too quick tempered. What's wrong with me? I hide when things get tough. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be in a relationship? Because you don't trust nobody. Man, what's wrong with me? Why? Because you don't trust yourself. So you got to ask these questions. It's an investigation. It's an investigation. It's a self-investigation that you got to be willing to go through, right? You gotta be willing to go through. Hey guys, you can drop your if you got questions, man. Y'all listening intently. If you got any questions, man, drop them right in the chat. Drop them right in the chat. I will be there. I will answer these questions. Any questions, any concerns, man, any thoughts, I will be right there with you. Be right there with you. And answer any questions. If you got them, put in the chat. Otherwise, make sure you go to my website, christianwinters.com. Sign up for the Table of 12 Giants. If you need coaching, sign up for coaching, one-on-one coaching. And I know there's some ladies that on my podcast. There's a lot of ladies on my podcast. Ladies, hello. God bless you. I'm glad you're here. I got a book for you too. The Soul of Sarah. These are matching books. For some of you men, you need to get this book for your lady. They're both on Amazon right now. I can't get this camera thing right. Maybe I'll cross. It's on there. Yeah. All right. Soul of Sarah. Home. This is a couple. Right. These books go together. Right. So one for your wife, one for yourself. A lot of women are buying men's book. A lot of women buying the men's book. I'm gonna do a relationship thing soon. All right, both on Amazon right now. All right, got a question in the chat, brother Wendy. Let me see. How do you use your voice when you lack finance, speaking louder than your voice? Okay, great question. Wendy, bro, I wish I could shake your hand right now. Brilliant question, bro. How do you use your voice when you lack finances? Finance don't have nothing to do with your voice. Finance don't have nothing to do with your voice, right? That's a brilliant question. I understand it because it is hard. You feel like you have no, but that's another trick of the enemy. The enemy, because that's the world. The world system says a man is only valued by what he gives or what he has to give. And that's why so many men feel so bad about themselves. Do you know most men don't hit their financial stride until they're somewhere between 45 and 50? See, Wendy, I want you to really get a hold of this, bro. Most men don't hit their stride till they're between 45 and 50. Most of what, say, people are looking for, saying that these rich men, it's only 2% of men that have that kind of money. See, it's the trick, Wendy. It's the trick of the mindset that tries to make you feel like you're worthless if you don't have money. No, Adam didn't have money. Adam had a voice. Hey, Wendy, guess what? See that guy right there again, Martin Luther King? He died broke. You think he had voice? Yeah. Malcolm X, he died broke. Gandhi, he died broke. I'm not saying we gotta die broke, but what I'm saying is you can't compare financially to your voice. No, because that's one of the lies of in America. One of the biggest lies: the high value man is the man who has this and has that. The high value man is the man that has possession of himself. You hear me, Wendy? The high value man is the man who has possession of himself. What good is it if you own the city but have no self-control? Right? Because this is the thing. A man who can control himself can handle money. A man who can't control himself, money will handle him. Brilliant question, Wendy. Again, shake your hand, brother. Thank you for asking that question. Because when it comes down to it, a man is about control of himself. Look at politics. Look at these people. Look at these people that are running the world in all these countries, right? You got men of great wealth have no control. Have no control at all. And so that's the issue. Most of these people have no control in their life. And so what? They have money. They have no authority, right? They don't have man voice. And I want to say this to you, bro. They don't have man voice. They got money voice. And you know what you got money voice? When you have money voice, you have manipulation. You start manipulating situations. You start manipulating people. Authority doesn't need manipulation. Authority says what it says. Great question, Wendy. Thank you, my brother. I hope you signed. Wendy, let me know. Were you able to get into the website and sign up? Let me know if you were able to do that. You can. We are in the Dear Brotherly Advice section, guys. If you have any questions, marriage questions, man, relationship questions, divorce questions, you can ask them, man. Don't be afraid to ask nothing. You know why? Because I'm not afraid to share. And some of you who have been on my podcast, some of you have read my books or been on my website know that I'm very transparent because it's the only way to help people. So we are the Dear Brother Advice. Usually, man, y'all, this is beautiful. I've been on here for over an hour. Usually I'm here for 30 minutes, man, but this is beautiful. If you have any questions, man, pop them right in the chat and I'll address them right away. Okay. I'll address them right away. Let me read another part of this book that I want to get to you guys. Same chapter, The Humble Lion Hunts Himself. Reflect on your actions and decisions, the consequences they bear. By scrutinizing the fields of your foolishness, you empower yourself to sow seeds of wisdom and growth instead. Understand that humility is not a surrender of power, but a mastery of self-awareness. Recognizing that true strength lies in willingness to confront one's mistakes. Let me read that again. It's in my book, Home Where Hurt Men Heals, on Amazon right now. Go get it. My name is Christian, right? Reflect on your actions and decisions and the consequences they bear. By scrutinizing the fields of your foolishness, you empower yourself to sow seeds of wisdom and growth. In other words, remember the times you were a fool. Confront yourself about being a fool. That's where your strength is. Confront yourself about these weaknesses, right? Understand that humility is not a surrender of power. Humility is not a surrender of power, but it is the mastery of self-awareness. Don't think being humble is weakness. That's why the world is screwed. You got government, nobody's humble. You got church leadership, nobody's humble, right? You got spiritual leadership all around the world in all kinds of religions, nobody's humble, right? You don't see men walk with their head down teaching. Everybody has a brand. Everybody's trying to be somebody. We need men that are just men, that have authority in their voice. They have man voice, authority in their voice. It's not about what you're going to get back. It's about what you sow into the earth. And as a man, you don't want your living to be in vain. I remember David of the scriptures. David said, I don't want to die until I've served my generation. In other words, I don't want to die having stuff in me that I didn't give away. I don't want to die and still have gifting in me that I didn't sow into the earth. You want to die empty as a man. You want to die empty as a man. You want to have given it all away, man. You want to have all your strength, all your energy, all your wisdom. You want to die saying, I've gave it all to the earth. I gave it all. I spoke into people's lives. I prayed for people. I blessed people. I gave to people. I changed other people's lives as a man. You don't want to grovel through your whole life, man, just trying to make it. Life is not about survival, man. It's about thriving. And you can't buy all of a sudden that life is just about survival. It's more than survival. You are the freaking man, bro. You're the man. Hey, Wendy, you're the man. Kyle Prout, you're the man. Marcus Burgess, you're the man. Anthony Rich, you're the man. Eric Winters, you're the man. You're the man. You're the man God made. You're amazing. God made you amazing, right? God made you amazing. All right, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll drop another podcast later on for you gentlemen, but good morning. Good Monday morning. Monday is not the days to be blue. Monday's the days you stand up and decide how your week is going to be. Speak for your week. Speak for your week. Speak for your week. You tell the week how it's going to be. Remember, your mind is your slave, not your master. You decide. It's in your authority. I love you all. Make sure you visit my website, sign up to be on the table of 12 giants. I'm only take 12 per month, but go to my website right now, christianwinters.com. You can sign up right there. You can also sign up for men's coaching, group coaching. You can buy my books. We can build a relationship. I love you all. Happy Monday. Have a great day, gentlemen and ladies. Be blessed and rock on.